So I failed on Sunday to do book stack, so I thought, hey, it's Tuesday and there's a top 10 Tuesday I'm gonna do, so I thought I would do top 10 Tuesday for you today, and it is top 10 books that I've read so far. So if you don't know about Top 10 Tuesday, it's a meme that was started by The Broke and the Bookish, and I'll put a link to that blog in the description. And I thought I would do a video today instead of just a post. I did actually write a post, and that'll be linked in the description too. But for those of you who don't read blogs, here's my Top 10 Tuesday. Oh, and I don't have any books to show you because they have all been moved. This is all I have left. 2 empty bookcases. How sad. So these are in no particular order, but the first of the top 10 books that I have read this year are We Are Liars by E. Lockhart. I finished it yesterday and turned around and gave it to a student today, which was, you know, pretty cool. One of those mystery suspense things. I was talking to people on the internet and they were like, "Were you so surprised at the twist?" And I was like, no, not really. I read quite a bit of mystery suspense and I was like a hair's breadth from the actual twist in my predictions. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't good. So the second book on my top 10 list so far is The Martian by Andy Weir. And I did the audiobook, and I'm convinced that had I read the print edition of this book, I would not have been so about it as I am right now. I wasn't going to put them in any kind of order, but it is on track to be my favorite book of the entire year, because you want to talk about suspense. I ignored absolutely all of my other audio things that I listened to for about 2 weeks while I was listening to this book, and then I had a shit ton of podcasts that I had to catch up on. Third on my list of top 10 books is Dreams of God and Monsters by Laini Taylor, and I didn't know that it was just a trilogy, and I'm so sad that it's over, but I think for my first foray into the angels and demons subgenre of paranormal, it was a pretty great place to start. If you have got any other Angels and Demons recommendations that are like as good as that series, let me know, because I kind of like it. Fourth on my list of top 10 books is Americana by Chimamanda Adichie, and I thought it was great, and Alan and I talked about it, and I'll put a link to that in the description, but I do want to say that I didn't really see it as much of a love story as it was social commentary. So people keep telling me, oh, it's a love story, and I'm like, not really. And then Wool by Hugh Howey, which was a dystopian about people who live in silos. Well, you know, it's dystopian, so it seems like everything is running pretty smoothly, but, you know, because it's dystopian, there's something nefarious going on in the background that only a few people are privy to, and it was cool, and I want to read the rest of that series, except that I'm trying to read the books that I've already purchased before I purchase any more books, and it's killing me. Okay, I've completely lost count at this point, but the next one is Saga Volumes 1 through 3 by Brian K. Vaughan, and Alan was talking about it, and I am heavily influenced by the things that my friends like. So I got the first one, and I downloaded a sample of the first one, and I looked at the first couple of panels, and I was like, yeah, I have to read this. So I downloaded it and read it, and then the professor who is attached to my Kindle account read it, and we bought the other 2 and read them, and then we were like, there is no issue 19, except there is now an issue 19, but I went to Hastings 2 times, and they did not have issue 19, so, you know, I talked to the girl in the comic book section, and she said, hey, how you doing? The next one comes out on the 25th or something like that. I will put it aside for you, so on the 25th, I will be going to Hastings to get issue 19 and issue 20 of Saga, because I need more Saga in my life. Next is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, which is about teenagers with powers, and I am a sucker for books with teenagers with powers, probably because when I was a teenager, I wanted to have powers so badly. I wanted to be able to fly. Who am I kidding? I still would love to be able to fly. That would be awesome. And then Unsold by Neil Shusterman, and the next one comes out in October, I think, or November, or I need more of the unwind nostalgia in my life too, because it is awesome and asks questions about what it means to be alive and where our souls come from, and it's Muppet arms. And then I was surprisingly really liked Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. I was not a huge fan of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It felt kind of like X-Men in a time loop to me. But with the second one, I was really thinking about the pictures and how the pictures were integrated, and I'd read Every You, Every Me by David Levithan that did kind of something similar with pictures and text. At that point, I appreciated Hollow City a whole lot more because the integration of the photographs into the story is seamless. And if you don't know where he got the photographs from, he went to like flea markets and stuff and picked up these old photographs and incorporated them, like weave the story of the photographs into the story, like the narrative that he was telling, and I'm impressed. I think it is awesome. And then the last book, and I think this is 10, if it is not 10, then I do have 10 in my blog post, so check that out, is How to Train Your Dragon. And I realize that the second movie is about to come out, and I don't know whether or not they follow any kind of order, but it was read by David Tennant, and Ten is my doctor, and that is really why I love it so much, because I get to sit and listen to David Tennant in his real voice, and about dragons, and I love dragons, and you just can't go wrong. So those are my 10, I think, top novels so far this year. What are yours? What have you been reading that you absolutely love, your top 10 thus far? Leave it in the comments, and I will see you there soon. Until then, I am the Supplier, wishing you happy reading. Don't forget to be awesome.